We live in a society where honor is just a memory. that that line isn't even in the fucking Snyder cut. That is some bullshit. I love the Snyder cut. That movie is great. That movie, if you haven't watched it, even if you don't like Jack Snyder, Zack Snyder, you don't like Zack Snyder, or you don't like Justice League or even DC, I would recommend it because it's amazing. Yeah, at least give it a chance, like for 30 minutes. If you don't like it, I guess you could not watch it. But I think it's awesome. It's just brilliant. It's a completely different movie from the original because it actually gives people, characters and arcs. I didn't mean to sit here and talk about Justice League. I was gonna talk about what brings my piss to a boil. And welcome to Wary with Cary. And I'm gonna go on a rant. I'm gonna go on several rants. Why? Just some things in my head, thinking about some stuff like specifically. You know what brings my piss to a boil? This idea that people love to say everything is too PC these days, politically correct, or it's too woke. That word is so stupid, by the way. It's law. That is a word that has lost so much fucking meaning. Like you make one statement in support of somebody, and suddenly you're woke to these people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like the literal meaning of the term has to do with the Matrix and also red pill that goes along with that, and like that's waking up from a massive conspiracy. To me, something like that would mean several different meanings. But somehow you take a certain stance and suddenly, oh, you're woke. But this idea, this ridiculous idea, and it goes along too with first of all, what's funny is that yeah, like you can't tell jokes anymore and shit like that. Like you should watch that YouTuber Adosa Buckley because he has some great videos on shit like this, like about how Bill Burr rants about how you can't tell jokes anymore. I can't do his voice. He does a pretty good impression of him. He's literally on a Netflix special, making millions of dollars, telling the jokes that he can't tell anymore. It's funny as hell. It's funny as hell. This is the thing. This is the thing I said to my friend Sora. How you doing? How you doing, sis? I know at some point you're gonna watch this. I was saying the other day. It was probably a few weeks ago. Time is weird. That people seem to have an idea that just because you say something is offensive, that means you are trying to cancel that thing, that joke, that movie, that show, and that is ridiculous. It's so stupid. You can point something out. You can say a joke is racist. That doesn't necessarily mean you're trying to cancel the person. You're not even calling the person racist. You're saying the joke is racist. You can say the joke or the comment is homophobic or transphobic if it was. You can say it's sexist. If it is those things, that's what it is. It's not you sitting here going, "Oh, well, I'm trying to cancel you by calling out what it is." It's not. That's not the way it is. It's stupid. Like there are plenty of jokes you've heard that fit that criteria or ideas. Well, the hell was I gonna say? That's one thing I find so stupid though. The idea if you call something offensive, therefore that you are canceling that person, that idea. Like no, you are just pointing out something. It's like if you point out something is cringe, then it's cringe. I know if offensive, I said like if you point out like what the thing is, you know. What the hell is it? Oh, the thing about alright, like when it comes to offensiveness and this whole idea of snowflakes and stuff like that, I really hate. I don't even like using that term, but ironically, the ones usually who are calling people snowflakes are the biggest snowflakes. But what I was gonna say is that there's nothing wrong with being offended by certain things, or also not wanting to hear or see certain things, because people are different. They don't want to do or see everything, and they're not gonna find everything funny or interesting either. We're different people. We're not gonna enjoy everything. I couldn't sell everybody who watches this video on watching wrestling, who doesn't watch it already. I probably couldn't sell them on watching, well, even the Snyder Cut, like I just mentioned, or like I don't know, Ash vs Evil Dead. That's a show I really love. Or what was the other Mandalorian? That was great. Stuff like that. I couldn't sell people on watching that. Not everybody's gonna want to watch it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. And it's like some people are gonna. There's nothing wrong with somebody saying they don't like something because it offends them and they can't. It brings up bad memories or something. That's understandable. Like, I'm not gonna show Tosh Point to people or something, for example. Why? Just because if I know maybe there's certain parts of that they don't want to see, just like because there's a lot of crazy jokes. Those dudes are crazy. Just making jokes, and doing like just not giving a fuck. But where was so let's talk about so-called cancel culture. I wish if I had due to CC like Christian Cage. This dumb term. The term itself didn't exist. Um, like you realize, I grew up I grew up in the '90s and the 2000s, but I was in my preteen years in the '90s, and I can tell you for a fucking fact that you got all these conservatives and they're bitching about anything. They're bitching about potatoes. They're bitching about Dr. Seuss books being pulled. Let me explain something to y'all. Conservative cunts were being these little cancel culture bitches, these cancel culture cults or whatever you want to fucking call them. They were pulling shit down or trying to pull shit, trying to ban shit in the '90s plenty of times, and for the dumbest of reasons. I can give you plenty of examples. The fact that any time in the '90s, if there was a character with a gay character, even if that character just existed and just appeared maybe in one episode, there would be like boycotts and pickets from so-called Christian conservative groups or Christian watchdog groups, which really was code word for stupid, bigoted assholes, homophobic haters. And I could give you a perfect example of this. There's several examples, but I'll give you one right now. The Teletubbies. You can Google that if you will. It's a show for kids with these four characters, and they all wear different colors. And one of them, named Pinky Winky, was alleged by this preacher called Pat Robinson, this little jackass, to be gay. Why? I don't know. From what I've seen of the show, I never actually sat down and watched the show. All they seem to do is like run around the meadow and sing songs and roll around the hill. It sounds more like they're hippies to me than anything. And even if Pinky Winky was gay, who gives a fuck? And like, what does it matter? It's a kid show. Okay, so you have straight characters on kid shows all the fucking time. This idiot Pat Robinson wants to cancel a fucking kid show because he thinks one character is gay. Because he's a fucking amoral douchebag. If you look at Pat Robinson, you don't need me to tell you that. He's a cunt. He's a douche. He's an ass clown. I mean, doesn't even go deeper. Like, this is something you probably don't know about. I don't even know that much about it. I just know from watching YouTube videos that Sailor Moon in the U.S., they changed two of the characters that were lesbians and made them cousins, which is very weird. They edited a lot of the dialogue. They kept trying to hide the fact, but there's still some scenes that made it through where they basically have romantic intent. And keep in mind, from what I've seen, most of the romantic intent is just like them kind of flirting with each other and stuff like that. Basically, the shit you would see on most cartoons or anything that like just innocent flirting stuff like that. Nothing really offensive, but because the show is for kids, they had to sit here and cut it down and make them cousins. And that wasn't anybody protest. I'm just saying that was ridiculous. And let's talk about a favorite subject of cancel culture currently, or the so-called cancel culture. Because in my opinion, it doesn't exist. It's just a bullshit term. Here's consequence culture, but it's different. Harry Potter. At least the idea. J.K. Rowling, long before we knew she's a massive transphobe, long before that shit, Harry Potter was having a lot of these Christian conservatives, watchdog groups, go out and picket her book premieres like in stores because they claimed they were satanic. They were promoting Satanism because of the magic in the books. Keep in mind, these are usually Christians saying this, and the Bible is full of magic done by God. But if it's done by a wizard, if it's done by Dumbledore or Harry Potter, it's bad somehow. What the fuck? Literally. Oh, and before I was born. Oh no, actually I must stick to I gotta ramble there. I'll get to that in a minute. Also, Pokemon. By some dumb, idiot Christian conservative cunt bag. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. Tried to claim that Pokemon was satanic. Claimed that one of the creators claimed he made Pokemon on purpose to introduce kids to Satanism. And keep in mind, when I say satanic, there's nothing wrong with Satanists or being satanic. Because, as far as I know, there haven't been that many satanic serial killers or anything of that nature. Despite what people lie about, I haven't seen any proof there have been. There's been a lot of Christian serial killers. Certainly a lot of Muslim serial killers. I don't know about Buddhist serial killers. Scientologist serial killers, don't know either. and I don't know what religion, Hindu. I don't know. There's Hindu serial killers, but you know, that kind of off point. Just saying, there's nothing wrong being a Satanist. What I mean, that's cool. If that's what you want to do, follow. That's fine. But I'm just saying, they clearly that's not what Pokemon is about. It's about many things without that. But this dude was lying his ass off to try to cancel Pokemon. And then you had this itself was kind of a direct result of something that happened throughout the 80s called the Satanic Panic, where basically a bunch of these ridiculous groups went around trying to cancel everything, claiming everything was satanic. One of the most notorious ones I know was Dungeons and Dragons. They claimed that was satanic. And if you've ever seen Hannah and Jake, were formerly the Bible Reloaded, and also now Hannah Reloaded and Actual Jake on YouTube, they look at these things called chick tracks made by a man called Jack Chick, which is kind of a funny name, but anyway. They're these little comics, and these comics are like supposed to be preaching at you, and they have the most ridiculous stories. They're so ridiculous and out there, outlandish. You can easily make fun of them, and they basically contain the Satanic Panic bullshit in one little flip book. I would suggest watching some of those. They're funny. They're really crazy and over the top. I love those videos. I don't love the Jake chick tracks, but I love the fact that Hannah and Jake got a lot of hilariousness out of them for years. And but is that there is a specific one that actually relates to Dungeons and Dragons and the whole thing that is supposedly opened the door to Satan and stuff and Satanism and witchcraft. Like it's fucking ridiculous. It was all ridiculous shit. These people were doing cancel culture before I was born. Oh, and the infamous, if you never heard this, Two Live Crew, a band that I don't think they're still around anymore, a rap band who made a song called Me So Horny, released in 1989, that got banned. Literally a song banned from radios, banned from being played in the clubs, because people said it was too obscene. And this song, basically, the most obscene shit is just the lyrics, like, talking about fucking. Like, wet ass pussy is probably more obscene than this shit. And this is 1989, so I would have been, like, what, one? And it's in my fucking lifetime. That's how fucking ridiculous. And it didn't, when I say it got banned, I mean people would get arrested for playing them in stores. You want to talk about fucking cancel culture? You cannot get more cancel culture than that shit, dude. Like, seriously. There's no fucking way. Like, that is the fucking highest cancel culture you can do. Not being fired. That or, I guess, being killed, obviously. But being arrested for playing a fucking song. But oh yes, it's cancel culture when you call out somebody for being a bigot or racist or saying bigoted or racist things. Or it's cancel culture when somebody gets fired from a job for tweeting dumb shit over and over and over and over and over again after being told not to do that thing. That's cancel culture to people. That's what brings my piss to a boil, this idea. And this idea that things are PC. Because really, yeah, I will admit, there's some things that go too far. Some people take this thing way too far. I don't believe generally there's a big group of right to censor out there in 2021 trying their best, trying their fucking damnedest to cancel everything that they find offensive. But there is some people who overreact to everything, just like the fucking anti-SJWs who overreact to everything too. I don't really like the term SJW because I think it's a dumb term. But like the opposite of that is also very dumb in general. That the idea, like somebody gets offended at something, and then they have to get double offended. They have to double down on their stupidity and overreact. And it's just one big circle jerk overreaction. Like, shit gets old, and it's ridiculous. Like you get fuckers over here. Speaking of the thing about Christians protesting gay characters, like you get fucking chuds on YouTube bitching about crackers. About a commercial crackers had a trans person in it, so they don't want to buy crackers anymore. They want to boycott Ritz. And because it had a trans person in the commercial. A commercial they looked up online too. Don't even know they saw this in like a commercial on TV. They had to look it up. Like, how fucking ridiculous can you fucking get? I mean, it's just so stupid. I find the whole thing brings my piss to a boil. This idea, I feel like they act like there's some people I feel like, not everybody, some people who want to think that if you bring up a point, like you say, well, I didn't like that because that was kind of offensive, or that was wrong, maybe they shouldn't have did that, or maybe that person was wrong to say that, they want to think you're fucking PC principal, like, PC, bro. That shit, like, that's ridiculous. That's moving too far. And there anything else that brings my piss to the boil? I don't know. I can't think of anything else that brings my piss to the boil. Ooh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna tie it back around. I'm gonna do a wraparound. Yeah. How about that? That's kind of professional, and I'm not professional at all. To say that, oh, the Snyder Cut. I really, really enjoyed that a lot. That movie, the Snyder Cut Justice League. But goddamn, if it doesn't bring my piss to a boil, then we even need to have this in the first place because Warner Brothers so fucked up, so fucked over Zack Snyder, and fucked over their actors, and fucked over their fans, and fucked over everybody they could fuck over to give us the movie. As I don't hate the original Justice League as much as some people, I still think it's a watchable movie. Although I wonder now if I go back and watch it how I'm gonna react. I feel like I'm gonna maybe kind of hate it more. But like, oh, like there's just so many things. Like Steppenwolf doesn't get a real character in that movie. Cyborg has no arc. Characters are barely seen that get huge character arcs in the original cut of the movie. And that red sky, oh my fucking god, who the fuck thought that looked good? The red sky background for Steppenwolf, like come on. And Steppenwolf, where's his spikes? Like, what is this shit? Why would you make it? This is the most ridiculous crap, you know? It's like this would be like if you had a choice. You have like Kurt Angle in his prime, and you have let's say Lars Solo. No, not Lars Solo. That's kind of he ain't that bad, but I'm trying to think of a really bad wrestler that like most people wouldn't want. Why do I have hard time thinking of bad wrestlers? I have no idea. My brain goes poop. Anyway, like in my opinion, the fact that Warner Brothers went to all this trouble, now they're spending money to catch up, and now they got people actually foaming at the bit for more. And it's like, if you would have did this right the first time, look how far we could have come. 4 years later, you could have had another Justice League movie that made a shit ton of money. You could have had other movies for the characters. You have some, but you could have had all of them having those movies. But you fucked up so bad, and you wasted so much time. And we don't have time. The most valuable thing, we fucking have time. And you wasted it to hack up a movie that is fucking great. Just fucking well done and just so freaking amazing. And you fucked it up so bad. Like, why? Why did we have to come to this? It's like we lose so much shit. Oh, wait, I got an example. See, I'm going back. Wrestling-wise, this is like when WWE made Chad Gable Shorty G. And he lost all the momentum he had with this stupid fucking gimmick that nobody other than Vince McMahon found funny because it's all short jokes. That's short jokes. And then they had him wear that stupid outfit, and this went on for over a year. And then they finally made him Chad Gable again. And it's like, good, but you wasted a year of his life on this stupid, shitty gimmick that was never going to get over, that made him under, that took all his momentum away, that made him a stupid joke. Then he gave him stupid feuds. And then he put him with Otis to make a stupid tag team. On top of that. Which is after he's not Shorty. But come on, like, for fuck's sake. It's one of those what the fuck are you doing things. Like, why would you do this stuff? There's literally no reason. And the funny part, I'll say one other thing too, is I was saying this to my friend, like, I find it funny Snyder gets criticized for being too dark. But if you watch the Josh Whedon, which I think we should call Warner Whedian now, Justice League, you will notice that Cyborg is basically a brooding, dark character throughout that whole movie. The little bit you get to see him, he doesn't really do anything other than brood and kind of act a little upset about stuff. And in the the Snyder version, he gets a whole fucking character arc. Even in the beginning, he's kind of upset, but he's not quite broody. It's more of a general like nihilism, I would say. And then he slowly starts seeing him start to care and start to be happy and start changing his person and start becoming a better person. Like, oh my god, like, fuck's sake. That is the good thing to do. That's what I find funny. Y'all bitch, like, not y'all, I shouldn't say y'all, like, people who bitch about Snyder being too dark. Yeah, I think his version was lighter than the Whedon one. Is it because it didn't have jokes every few minutes? It still feels lighter than that one. You know, man, that Joker Leto at the end. That was a Joker Leto I always wanted. Not whatever the fuck we got in the Suicide Squad. Although I did like when he had the Gatling gun. That was cool. That scene is fucking awesome. But yeah, I feel like I should talk about something else. I haven't talked about a lot of stuff. Should I just put a more positive spin on this at the end? Yeah. Oh, also today is technically it's not the last day of the network, but it's the last pay per view we have on the network. They really, I think, should end it with Mania, but I guess there's reasons they don't do that. I don't like Peacock. I don't like navigating it. I think it's ass. It's hard to find half the shit you want to find. You can't even do match markers. It's a big hassle. I don't like that either. I said I was getting on a positive note. I mean, I guess I would say, yeah, the network's gonna end technically legal. Like the app's gonna get gone after April 4th. But like I say, for the W network, for all my problems I've had with WWE or the network for that matter, I think it's been an amazing invention for the last 7 years. It's been incredible. And it went far better than Classics on Demand ever did, and it was awesome and amazing. And I loved watching a lot of stuff on there. I'm gonna miss it, even though we have Peacock and it's just one part of the Peacock now. WWE. It's crazy to think WCW was one part of W Network, and now WWE as a whole, the whole network is one part of Peacock. That's mad to me. Like I don't like that, but it is what it is. And yeah, I feel like I was gonna do something else. I think I need to go take me a bath and get some sleep because I feel pretty tired. Yeah, I do. Oh, and also, I'll tell you one positive thing. Andrade got released from WWE today per his request, so that is good. I'm very happy for Andrade. I hope wherever he goes, he finds happiness and success. He's a tremendous talent. He can do a lot of good. I mean, he could do some great stuff with him. I love AEW, but I don't think that would be the right place for him now because it's just too crowded. But I'm sure wherever he goes, he can just be amazing. So anyway, that's all I got to say and all this. uh, you know, Thanks for watching. And if you're watching this, I've been kind of negative in this video, but try to not focus on negativity. Try to focus on positive things. Try to focus on the good in the world. Try to find something that makes you happy today. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a good meal, a good conversation, some good sex, a good video game, a good movie, a good show. Just find something good you enjoy and try to enjoy it at least for even like an hour. Just do that and just try to have a great day. Thanks for watching.